learn surf skills. We live on the coast, so we enjoy the ocean a lot. That's why. The second rule was that we had to do something creative. I am proud to say that I actually graduated from Nippers, and as far as the creative side goes, I think you can guess that I chose guitar. As you can see, I am definitely not the biggest human around, and you can imagine at 7 years old, since how big I am now, I would have been a lot smaller then. Although I tried then, when I was 7, it just wasn't physically possible for my hands to fit around the neck, so we had to pause lessons for 6 months. Then, on my 8th birthday, we looked at playing again. I'd grown just enough to begin my journey. Only just. I started off with a few different teachers. One in particular noticed that I was picking it up faster than most and was understanding at a more deeper level. He had a chat with my dad, and he told him that there might be something special there and that we should look into it. That then brings me to the beginning of my busking journey. By that time, I'd actually started to have lessons with my teacher, Steve Edmonds. Steve is a very well-known and respected blues man in Australia. He suggested that I start with surf rock for the skills, the technique, but it's also extremely fun to play. Once I found out that I really liked the genre, I liked it so much that I started to record my first album, 7 Summer Stories. I recorded that when I was only 9 and it was just before COVID. That album contains 7 classic surf songs. It has Apache by Hank Marvin and the Shadows and Walk It Run by the Ventures. The recording of this album was fully paid for by my busking and gigs I've done. I was super proud to be able to say that. That's the same as all the gigs you'll see around me. I've actually paid through it all and not my parents, as most people would assume. Because of Steve being a blues man, once I got my head around surf rock and my hands around it, I began my blues journey, which I quickly found out that that's where my heart is. I live on the Central Coast, and we are blessed with tourists coming every single weekend, so I busked at the entrance. I did that by the waterfront. I started out with the actually most smallest amp Roland did, a battery amp. But within a month, I had made enough to buy the next one, the Roland Street. I'm sure many of you know of that, and have actually played it before. Busking did help me grow skills and confidence as a performing artist, and it also grew my confidence as a person. Doing busking inspired me greatly to think the guitar could actually be my career or my path in life. Over the years, I busked at many, many different places and regularly posted my busking on Facebook. Doing that increased my local reputation and my reputation online. So slowly but surely, I started to get offers to play at markets, different venues like car shows. Then, as time passed, the gigs became bigger, so busking became less important, because I was at the point now where I needed to jam with other musicians to up my skill. I needed more experience on bigger stages. That's where I met 3 wonderful humans you may have heard of: Minnie Marks and the Hussey Hicks Gals, Lisa and Jules. These ladies have regularly invited me onto their stages to play. It's been an honour to be able to call them friends, as things I've learned from them have been invaluable. If you ever get a chance to check out their show, I would highly recommend it. Tell them G sent ya. Last year I actually did compete here in Cooma. I was the runner-up in my age group and the runner-up for People's Choice. That actually got me invited to play at the 2023 Gympie Music Muster. That was an absolute blast and a fantastic learning experience. I officially entered my busking journey just before Christmas last year, and since then I've been blessed to be booked for many, many gigs, most weekends, and oh boy has it been fun. Now it's time I'll be having some frequently asked questions, and my dad might help with some of the answers since he's the facts guy and I just play the guitar. Alright, the big one is that everyone thinks my parents want me to play, and that I've been playing since I was 2 years old. As I said before, I've only been playing for 4 years, but nobody in my family actually plays, not a single musical instrument. Even though when I'm not the one playing the music, there's always music on in my household. That's partly some of the reason I chose guitar. Another one I get asked all the time is why don't you go on shows like The Voice or ABT? Since everyone thinks my goal is to be rich and famous, it's just not the case. Although that wouldn't be bad, no, I don't think any of us here would mind to be rich and famous, but that's not my actual goal. I just want to be happy, have a fun life, and have wonderful experiences with many fun people. That's what motivates me. And if anything, the last years to go by, oh my gosh, I'm on the right track. What are my goals with music? So my dream is to travel the world and play with the best musicians, and hopefully one day be considered with them as one of the world's best. Not the most famous or the most rich, but the most skilled. My hero, my idol, Mr. Tommy Emmanuel, showed me that it can be done if we put the time on the fretboard. I've actually seen him live twice, and his live shows really changed my life. He showed me that with hard work and dedication, you can live your dream, one note at a time. What other advice would you give girls trying to make it in the music scene? I always say the same thing. Be who you are and not what others expect you to be. If you do that twice as good as they can, regardless of who they are. If you do that, your playing will prove your point and show you the path that you need to travel. Another one I get all the time is, how did your Facebook following get so large? Unfortunately, there's no magic trick that can make you wake up with 1 million followers overnight, although before I started, I did think that was true. It just comes from hard work and regular posting, and being different from the rest. It's a bit boring to see the same thing over and over again. Well, that's all I did with my Facebook page. Well, actually, my dad did all of it, but, you can do that too anyway. And then, do you go to school? I actually go to a regular primary school, just like everybody else. I do it 5 days a week to Exalis. But luckily, I've been fortunate enough to get a scholarship to a school of my choice. I actually began that journey in January 2024, and I'm very, very excited and proud that music has even got me that far. And then the last one, what's been your favourite experience so far? My favourite experience was actually my trip up to Gympie. Like I said before, I actually got the opportunity to go up there from coming here to Cooma and doing busking. Busking has benefited me in ways I couldn't even imagine. We drove 12 hours and we stopped the night at the Gold Coast on the way. When we arrived, we got to camp in the artist camping. We met some really nice people there. My dad and I set up the tent and we went and explored the festival on the first day. The next day I had my talent competition. That was so much fun. I also did another performance and I had a fun jam. I did another performance set, and in the afternoon I had a fun jam with Mini Marks and got to jump on the stage with the Hussy Kicks. That was actually one of my favourite parts. When I was up with the Hussies, I got to play Armageddon. I've actually played that song with them before. I played it on the 2022 New Year's Eve entrance celebration. They even gave me 2 solos for that. Another great thing that happened there was I actually got to play with Jules' dad. He played the harmonica really well, and it was a great family vibe there to a packed house. The next day, I even found out that I made it to the finals of the talent competition. I competed against mainly 15, 17-year-olds and got runner-up. I was so proud of that, and I had a fantastic time. Me and my dad loved the whole vibe and experience of the festival, and we really want to go again next year. One other thing that blew me away about the festival was the amount of people. Oh my god, there were so many people, I was actually amazed. There were over 100,000 people and 30,000 campers. The campgrounds had to be so big to fit everybody, they had to put buses for people to pick up. I was in the middle of it, and I had the time of my life. Now, that's the end of the frequently asked questions. Did anyone have any other questions they wanted answered?
How old are you?
12. Same age as the busking competition, actually. Alright, well, I brought Bob along today. He's my mate in 808 Tommy Emmanuel signature model. And before I start playing, I'd just like to say I will be performing at the grand final stage at 2 p.m. at the park and at the Alpine Hotel tonight for a jam with some other people. I will also be performing for 3 days at the Thredbo Blues Festival in January. I actually went up to Thredbo yesterday, that's a long story. But make sure you come and check it out. That's going to be a fantastic time. Right, for this first song we're playing here today, I'm going to be playing you Before You Accuse Me.